Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. So big welcome to the K's Flower School Friday Live, 11 o'clock, free flower arranging class. So to get the ball rolling, let's see who's watching. So anybody that's watching, start commenting below and let us know what area that you're watching in from. Like, it's good to see if we have any overseas viewers. Like recently we've had people from America, New Zealand, Africa, and lots of exotic places out there. And for anybody that's maybe just in plain old Ireland, nothing wrong with Ireland, give us the weather forecast, because it's quite overcast today in Dublin. Sky is blue, but it's very cloudy. Definitely no sunshine. As we say, it's not too shite, you know, that sort of way, but a rumour on the block is that it's going to pea rain at the weekend. So I think it's going to be pretty shite at the weekend. But today it's not too bad. As I said, rain is holding off, overcast, and maybe later on the sun might shine. So anybody watching yet so far, Deirdre?
Okay, we have the Cotswold flower pot and they're watching and it's very wet.
Very wet, bit shite over your way, is it?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see all our comments. Yeah, it's Fab Morning and Donna Bate. Oh, so they're getting my
There you go.
There.
Oh, yeah. So maybe that's out near the sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's coming over this way. So what have we got planned for you today? So last Friday we talked about the hydration unit, you know, that way, and I want to show you the results of our hydration unit and to see how it was very successful and how it worked. And it was actually great. I was talking to a past student this morning, Heather, who had a big wedding on this week, and during the week she was saying to me, I'm going to try out the hydration unit. And she rang me there this morning just before she delivered the flowers, and she said it was so successful, took so much pressure off her, made life so much easier, you know, that way. So that was brilliant feedback to hear. And maybe a couple of you out there, you might actually try it out. When I'm showing it to you, I'll give you a little bit more information. We also have two of these to give away. Okay, so I'm going to give one away on Instagram and we're going to give one away on Facebook. So as you know, very good friend of ours, Emma from 11PR Events. So Sinead is going to put the link underneath there, or tag her, for 11PR Events, and she's given us two of these fabulous gift sets. Okay, I suppose they are going to be ideal for Father's Day, but again, you get them posted out to you. It'll be Father's Day, will be over. So anybody that maybe just has a man in their life, and it can be a woman, I suppose, you know, that way, but anybody who just wants to give a present to somebody to make them feel good. So it's from that amazing company called Super Facialist. Okay, we've talked about them here before because we also gave away the female version of it using the vitamin C. I know I use it myself at home because Emma had given it to us as a present to try out, and then she had given us a set to give away. I can't remember what student. I think it was Deirdre. Maybe that girl Deirdre. She's a past student of ours, black hair and a bob. Really good looking.
Yes. I know
Deirdre Pike Nolan. That's who it is. Could be her. I think that won it before. I can't remember. Maybe she's watching. She'll let us know. Anyway, this is for the man in your life. And you know what I loved about this one is it's made with cactus water. Okay, so however they get the water out of the cactus, right? But as part of the little gift set, there's a little, which I never knew, cactus seeds. So you can grow your own, basically grow your own little cacti plant. So I think anybody that has kids maybe in the house, this would be gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like, give the present to the fellas, so they get their face wash and their how do you say that word? Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid. They're going to be absolutely gorgeous here. So rid of all the wrinkles and the usual, you know what I mean? It's going to it does everything for them. So all you have to do, so what I'm going to get Sinead to do is to, in the comments, okay, I'm going to put the Super Facialist page. So whether you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram, you know what I mean? You can go to either of their pages, and also we're going to tag Emma's page, 11PR Events. And all I want you to do, pop over there, and under any of their recent photographs, it's just tag K's Flower School. Now we're working this weekend because our Module 3 students are getting a flower delivery. So what we do tomorrow morning, we have a class at 10 o'clock with them. So after a 10 o'clock class, I'm going to pop over to 11PR Events, Super Facialist page on the Facebooks and the Instagram, and then I'm just going to randomly pick a person, okay, who has tagged K's Flower School, and they'll win that prize. So we've one for Instagram and we have one for Facebook. So it's an amazing prize, and huge thanks to Emma in 11PR Events for organising that to us. Now, last week, can you pass us the goodie bag, Deirdre, behind you there?
Oh, yeah.
So last week, we had an amazing giveaway ourselves. And this was only an Instagram competition, okay? But we'll have another one next week, okay? So don't be panicking. But I think most of us that were on Facebook just went and set up an Instagram page and you were able to enter the competition. Listen, Instagram is amazing. So last week we called it the Goody bag, okay? And I'm not going to unpack it all because I did a video of it. But basically from your floral foam, your agra wool, your wires, your flower scissors, your knife, your posy dishes, shovels, spray trays. What else was in it, Deirdre? Wires, real wires, stem strippers, feckin' loads and loads of stuff, okay? So the Goody bag, so Sinead's our virtual assistant, okay? She's based over in Scotland and she was organising that. So she's made a video. So to win the prize, okay, you have to follow both pages, okay? Because we were trying to work with that, we would build up our following on Instagram. And Deirdre has the main Instagram page, the @K's Flower School, and I can never remember the name of my page.
K's Online Flower School.
K's Online Flower School. So I actually was delighted because I got a couple of new followers. Deirdre got lots of new followers. I did get loads. I did actually. And so to win, what you had to do was tag 2 people and you had to follow the K's Flower School page and the K's Online Flower School page. So Sinead, and she done a video of this morning, so it's all fair and it was all on board. She'll post it later on so that you can see it. Hold up the name there, Sinead. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Holding up the name. Sarah Griff Sky, GRIFSKI. So that's the winner. So hopefully she's watching, okay? So Sarah, you've won the goodie bag. So what we need you to do is, maybe Sinead will just send you a message on Instagram as well. But Sinead has videoed her page and all, you know, that sort of way, and has double checked to make sure that she was following both pages. Because you'll see, we kept it all on board. She'd done a kind of a bit of a scroll. A person's name came up. But when she checked, she actually wasn't following both pages. And I know she's probably going to be peed off, but that was the, what's the word I'm looking for? That was the rules, okay? So Sinead had to scroll again, and then Sarah's name came up, and then she videoed where she checked in, and she was following both pages. So Sarah, you're the winner of the goodie bag, and I'm going to, if you get in touch with us today with your address, sorry if I went off camera, I'll get that posted out to you today. Now listen, next week, please God, and hopefully, okay, we're going to have another goodie bag, because you've often heard me talking about the company called Smithers Oasis, okay? Something gone wrong there?
Yeah, no, it's just somebody's ringing your phone. When they ring, it
locks us off. Okay, stop ringing us.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear me talking here on this page all the time about Smithers Oasis. It's a company that we use for a lot of our floral foam. And even when I'm doing the online tutorials with the students, I'm always talking about, you know, Smithers Oasis. It's a great company. I personally find that their floral foam is excellent, okay? But obviously, we're all trying to be environmentally friendly and using things that are a little bit more biodegradable, recyclable, and all the rest. So they have been in touch with us because they had seen or heard about our blog that we did on agri-wool. So again, maybe Sinead, I know she wasn't prepared for this, but maybe you might post a link to the agri-wool, okay, blog. So we did kind of a couple of experiments. It wasn't just a one-off, you know, that we did a couple of experiments using agri-wool, which is a natural kind of like product, okay? So when people say about being biodegradable, it's made of basalt, like rock, basically. So when it's biodegradable, it goes back down to be sand, okay? Basalt sand, basically. So we had kind of goods and bads, pros and cons, you know, that sort of way. I'll let you watch the video yourself and see kind of what was your opinion. Make up your own opinion on it, okay? But from an environment point of view, it was absolutely brilliant. From a flower arranging point of view, we had pros and cons, okay? But you do have to remember with agri-wool. Agri-wool wasn't designed for flower arranging. It's designed to actually grow plants in. And as basically a byproduct or a, you know, as a fluke, basically, it was like when they designed the pill, they found out that it actually helped to get people pregnant as well. You know, that way, that was a byproduct. I know I'm going off the subject. We go back to the flowers, okay? So Smithers Oasis decided to design, you know what I mean, again, an environmental product, you know, that way, but it's not called floral foam. It's definitely not called agri-wool. It's called fiber floral design media. And you're going to hear me using that word quite a lot. So maybe Sinead might write that up there. Fiber floral design media. Do not call it floral foam because it's not floral foam. It's not biodegradable at the moment, but that's because, like, how can you call something biodegradable that's made with a basalt rock? You know what I mean? So it obviously is very natural. It is a natural product, but the advantage of the fiber floral design media, it's designed to do flower arranging in, where AgroWool was designed to grow plants, and as a byproduct, they realized you could use it for flower arranging. But fiber floral design media, okay, is designed for flower arranging, for gripping flowers, for prolonging the life of flowers, for holding the moisture in, okay? And they're sending out, why I'm mentioning all this, is they're sending us out some samples of it. So we have decided, along with Guppy, Floral Guppy in Canada, okay, which is another product that we use, which is, again, an environmentally friendly product we use for flower arranging, and we also use for bridal work, okay? And they sent us, throw it over there, they sent us out one of their goody bags, okay? So we're going to fill this next week with the Smithers Oasis brand of fiber floral design media, and also some Guppy holders, and we'll have that competition for you next week, okay? So, and we'll do that on Facebook so that nobody is losing out. You know, remember last week it was all Instagram. Anybody watching? Anybody? Any questions?
Lots of people watching. Geraldine is watching from Sunny Clare, and she said she loves your top, Jeanette.
Oh, thanks.
Hola.
Walk-in wardrobe. Oh no, this wasn't walk-in wardrobe. This one was Lillian Rose. Actually, a great name, isn't it? Two flowery names. Instagram company. They're obviously based in Ireland, you know, that way, and it was very reasonably priced. I probably need to suck it in now a little bit, you know, that way. Could do it a little bit of
It probably shrunk in the dryer.
No, I haven't washed it yet. It's brand new. So I better not put it in the dryer, because normally everything I put in the dryer does shrink, you know that way. Yeah, I loved my Spanish flamenco shoulder on it.
Susanna is watching. Hola, Mona's boil. Blah, blah. Oh, hang on, see translation. Hang on. From Madeira, she says, hello, lots of kisses here from Madeira Island.
Big loves to you, and thanks a million for joining.
Watching in from Michigan.
What we'd love is people to share. So in Madeira and Cathy in Michigan and anybody else that's watching, even here in Ireland, okay, why don't you click share there, and let's get this video out there and let it go viral. So last week we talked about the hydration unit, a way of prolonging the life of flowers. And basically all it is a Tupperware box, and we talked about Tupperware last week. Our live class from last week is still available there to watch. All you have to Google is the hashtag Kay's Flower School Live. All one word, no spaces in between it. Sinead might put up that tagline for us, and you can find all our Friday live classes, okay? So we gave a lot of information on this last week, and about we were talking about peonies, because we worked in peonies last week, and people talking about prolonging the life of them and using them for bridal work, okay? So live on camera last week, okay, I showed you where we lined the inside of this box, okay, with kitchen towel. But I hadn't got kitchen towel. I have a big roll of it today, by the way. But I hadn't got any kitchen towel last week. So what I had to use was a Christmas napkin, okay? So this is just basically a Christmas napkin soaking wet, as you can see there, with water. Falling apart, okay? And I just layered that in the end of the box, which I'll show you in a few minutes, okay? So I've done this all live last week so everybody could see it. I was using roses and peonies last week. So this is one of the roses, okay? Now, hand on heart, blessed be in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, okay? This is the exact rose that I cut up last Friday, live on camera, okay? They're just going to bring it closer to the cameras there that you can see it. And all I did was lie it down in the hydration box, okay, on the layer of tissue paper, the wet tissue paper, and then I wet another tissue paper, which I described as like a blanket, and I kind of like gently lay it over the flowers and tucked it around it. But also at the same time last Friday, I also cut up a peony, and again it was one of the fabulous peonies that I used. Now remember, this peony has been cut since last Friday. The only water it has got is off these two damp tissues, okay? That's the only water that it has got. Again, they're just going to bring it in close. As you can see, it's not just perfect, it's 100% perfect. Like the little marks at the back are just the guard petals. on the peony, you know what I mean? There's not one blemish, there's not one mark. On the rose, there was one little mark on one of the petals, okay? Again, you probably can't see that there. But again, that could be just like picked off, you know what I mean? And again, the rose itself feels quite hard, and that's how you always judge. Are roses fresh? Are they good? When they feel like a hard tomato, you know, on the inside, if they're hollow, that's always a bad sign, you know that way? So this rose would be perfect to use, you know that way? And this peony would be perfect to use. And using the hydration unit, now normally, okay, so go back and listen to last Friday's live class, we only recommend 3 to 5 days maximum, okay? Because I did this last Friday, this is actually day 8. So you can see that day 8, but I'm not recommending you to do it up to day 8, okay? I just wanted to show you how long I could make these flowers last. And the thing is, I'm not finished because I'm going to get their soggy blanket, okay? I'm going to put the blanket back on them there again. Now, I won't get till next Friday out of them. I know that for a fact. But what I'll do is during the week, I'll come on live again and I've given them another 3 or 4 days and to show you what they look like. So all you do is with your Tupperware lid, you seal them back in, you put it back in your fridge, and that's all I did. It was just in the fridge, did absolutely nothing to it. I think I did open it on Wednesday because we have a Module 3 online program going on at the moment. And one of the students was asking me on Wednesday, she said, how is the flowers in the hydration unit? And I said, you know what? And I got up, I went out, brought them in, because we have a fridge here, obviously, in the school, and showed them to her, and they were perfect. You know what I mean? And I put them back in, and I said, I'll leave it till Friday. So hopefully you were all madly impressed with that.
They are lots of wows, amazing. Oh
like
my God.
As we say in Dublin, it was feckin' brilliant. You know that way? I swear to God, it's a brilliant thing. And the amount of flowers that messaged me after last Friday's class and said, oh my God, Jeanette, like this is a game changer. It is. And as I said, one of our own students used it then for a wedding that she had on. Do you know the way? So again, I'd love to hear the feedback. I'd love to hear from anybody else that has used the technique. And I know our students on the Module 3 online program at the moment, they're all trying it. So Tricia Kenny is watching. She's one of our virtual little secretaries, okay? She had it up there all week. She might post a photograph again. Lidl or Aldi, I can't remember which one it was. Tricia will have it sorted for you in a second, are selling all these Tupperware boxes, okay? Lunch boxes, whatever you want to call them. Do you know that way? And they have a great, it doesn't have to be that shape or size, by the way. It can be any shape or size. Last week I was recommending maybe one that was a bit shallower, but that was a bit wider. But as Heather said to me this morning, God, if you could get one big enough for a wedding bouquet and you had a fridge big enough, I said, I think my kids will back me up here. Our fridge at home is empty, like there's a litre of milk in it, you know what I mean? You'd well fit a huge hydration box. So that was something I wanted to show you, and madly impressed with that myself. So what are we going to do today? So if you've been following Deirdre on Instagram, we've had the saga of her bush, okay? So her ceanothus bush. And I can't spell ceanothus, but I did give Sinead plenty of notice. I said, will you look up the spelling of ceanothus, you know the way, and put it in the comments, because I know it is spelled
my
with
husband
C.
calls it the C that notice.
Yeah, that was something our mum taught us years ago, you know that way. Deirdre's always had the ceanothus bush in her garden, you know that way. And years ago, we were all up there sunning, because if you've been following Deirdre on Instagram, she has the most amazing garden she has. And I have no garden at home. It's very tiny, my one is. So whenever there's a bit of sun in Dublin, we're all up to, we call Deirdre's garden Lanzarote. We just say we're heading up to Lanzarote, and we all go up there and we're lying on our sunbeds, delighted with ourselves. And Deirdre's husband one day said to my mum, what's the name of that blue bush again? You know, she was saying, oh, that's the ceanothus. And she said, see the notice on the wall. See the notice. See and notice. See and notice on the wall. Do you get the idea? And that's how you remember the name of it. But it is spelled with the letter C, not the letter S. But Sinead's going to put up the proper spelling. And again, maybe...
And Sue Whale is watching on Instagram. You might do it on Instagram.
Yes, you might. Yeah, absolutely. You do that on Instagram. And Sue Whale, I normally have her books handy. Here we go. Her cuff flower books and her cuff foliage book. And I'm not sure if the ceanothus is in her cuff flower book, but she'll be able to tell us anyway. And if not, she'll add it. Yes. And I know she always does the phonetically way of pronouncing it. So there's a new one for you now. Ceanothus on the wall. You know that you can obviously leave it on the wall, because I'm not sure if you have that in your book already. So today, anyway, during the week, Deirdre was worried about the bumblebees, okay? I think she was more worried about getting attacked by the bumblebees than she was about preserving the bumblebees.
They're all saying about the buzzing bush.
The buzzing bush. So her bush needed to be trimmed, okay? Not the bush you're all thinking about, by the way. That probably needs to be trimmed as well for the holidays, for Lanzarote. So her husband was sent out last night. She videoed that as well. He had a bit of a sorry face on him. Maybe didn't know he was being videoed and he was supposed to smile. But anyway, the bush was trimmed. The foliage was all submerged in water, and I have it all prepared for our door wreath today. Now, it will shed, you know, that sort of way, you know what I mean, as in the ceanothus, the little blue flower on it, you know what I mean, isn't going to shed. Now again, for anybody that has wire co-hangers at home in your wardrobe, so this obviously is a kind of green coated wire co-hanger, this is how you can make your own frames. Now I'm actually using a metal frame, do you know that way? One of the florist frames, but some of you still might have the wire co-hangers, and that's how you can make a frame out of your co-hanger. Just basically mold it, you see the way, like, and adjust it into the shape, you know, that you want. And you can get rid of the hook, you could bend that down, or you can use that for actually hanging it on the door. And if you have another wire co-hanger, you know, that way you can cut the hook off it, and then using a pliers, okay, probably won't be able to do this with my finger. No, I'm not going to try and do it because I'll only hurt my finger. Using a pliers, you can see that side is done. There's a little hook made. I'll get you, Deirdre, to bring this in close to the camera in a second. And the idea is then is that you could hook it in there if that was folded over, and that's how you can make, see, like a smaller circle. So you can always then have a small circle inside a larger circle. Do you see that sort of effect? And using the real wire, you can join them together, and that's how you can make a wire frame. So it's something you can do over the weekend when you're not sunning yourself, because it's not going to be sunny this weekend. Otherwise, you can just buy the wire rings, and you can buy them in your local flower shop and garden centre. Now, we do have any garden centres that are watching that have ceanothus for sale. Will you please put up your link and a couple of details? And again, if we have any garden centres and flower shops that are selling wire frames to the public, please put up your link there, advertise yourself, and let people know. And there was a garden centre rang me during the week, okay? It was a missed call and it was a message on my phone. And when I went in, I couldn't find her phone number to ring her back, and I couldn't catch the name of the garden centre. So if you're watching, okay, get back in touch with me again. She was letting me know that she has the silver Sussex, as we call it. I know the proper name is Sussex silver, but we call it here at school silver Sussex, and she called it that as well, because she knew I'd know what I was talking about. And she has the silver Sussex bushes back in for sale. So if you're watching, whoever you are, because I couldn't catch your name, couldn't catch the garden centre, and I missed the phone number, so I couldn't ring you back, please put up your link there again, or get in touch with me, and again, I can post it on the page and let people know. Mylands Garden Centre in Galway, she normally ships them all over, she does. And again, Yvonne Myland, if you're watching, put up your link there for your garden centre, and also let us know, are you selling the silver Sussex and are you selling the ceanothus? So the next thing then that we need is a roll of real wire. So if they sell the wire rings, they'll also have the real wire for sale. But you could also use a ball of twine. Here at the school, we call that hand-tied twine. But you know, like garden twine will do exactly the same job. So if you don't have the real wire, you could use the twine instead. And you'll probably pick that up in the pound shops or the walk-around shops. So first things first is you need to make a base, okay, for your door wreath. So whether you're using the co-hanger or you're going to use the wire frame. Now, to make up the base, I'm going to use moss today. And this is still the fabulous moss all the way from Manorhamilton. And Manorhamilton is in County Leitrim, we realised there a couple of months ago. It's not in Donegal or Offaly, okay? So one of the ladies that watches us here on Facebook, whatever, organised to get the moss to us. And I'm still using it, you know what I mean? It lasts for ages. And it's the most amazing moss. There's a bit of ceanothus in there. Most amazing moss. So what you need is your real wire or your ball of twine. Catch it around your co-hanger or your roll of your wire frame, like I'm doing there today. You see, just to attach it on, okay? You get your moss. Now, sometimes your moss may not be as full and plentiful as my moss here today, but basically you make yourself a big fat sausage, or it's like a sub roll, you know, them subway rolls, okay? And you're going to rest it onto the frame.
Tricia and Francis are saying Deals have garden twine in at the moment.
Brilliant.
3 rolls for $150.
Oh, she does, because that's for nothing. That's a bargain. Now, don't use it for your hand-tied twines, because you know when I'm showing you the hand-tied bouquets and the way I pull the twine, you will find with garden twine, it snaps the flower stems, okay? Where hand-tied twine doesn't, okay? But for doing the wreath, perfect. Go and buy 3 rolls for €1.
150, yeah.
150 in the pound shops, which is not pound shops, euro shops, which is know what I'm saying.
Deals.
Tricia put the link there, she will. So Mr. Deals and Mrs. Deals. So you get your moss, again, bunch it into a big fat roll, big fat sausage, rest it onto your frame, and all you do is you wrap the real wire around it, you see, like to attach it on. Something else there?
No.
Okay, another name for the real wire is mossing wire. A lot of people call it mossing wire. So again, years ago, I was told it was called real wire, and I'm inclined to call it real wire, and most of the students do as well. Now, what I'm going to get Sinead to do is in the links, because some of you might be able to get moss, okay? I will give you your woman's name in Manor Hamilton. You can all call down to her. She'll probably make you a cup of tea as well. But listen, you can make your frame with a bag of straw as well. And I have just a bag of straw. This is straw that we use here at the school. And it's actually pet shop straw. So any shops, pet shops, that sell straw for your rabbits or your chickens or whatever other animals that need straw. Or if you're from a farm, anybody, any cultures watching, cultured people, okay? On a farm, you'll have absolutely loads of straw. And Sinead is going to post in the comments below there a link to a video of me actually making a frame using the straw, just for anybody that's kind of wondering how it's actually done. And also you can make it using cupress branches or leylande branches or cypress tree branches, you know, that way, whatever name you want to call them. And you can also do it using branches of pussy willow or willow twigs or whatever you have.
Still waiting on the lavender.
Still waiting on the lavender. Just need to get a little bit of moss here. There we go. So last week we mentioned that obviously the lavender is in flower. My mum was giving out an order to me last week for advertising about robbing the lavender out of the flower boxes in Rialto. She said I was really, really bold doing that and encouraging you to go onto the roundabout to rob the stuff. Now, I was only messing, but my ma took me serious, okay? I was only joking because, listen, if you know the roundabout on the South Circular Road, you'd be milled out with a truck trying to cross the road, okay? So most of you I knew had the cop on that. I was only joking about robbing the foliage on the roundabout, and I didn't rob the lavender. It jumped out the box into my handbag, you know, that way. So I didn't rob any lavender last week. So sorry, mammy, and I won't encourage anybody to rob in Rialto anymore.
That's what happens. 2 days on the naughty step.
We're going to send them up to Ballyfermot. I heard Ballyfermot have great planters up there in Ballyfermot, and if anybody else watching from another area knows,
somebody posted, actually, they tagged me in a photograph on, I think it was on Instagram.
I'm going around this second time, by the way, just to make it a bit tidier.
And her garden was full of it.
And what's my photograph?
I just sent it up to them.
So what we said last week, if anybody would make a big bag of lavender or a box, send it to us. We'll send you one of the express stamps if you want, you know, that way. Send it up to us. We'll make the door wreath of the lavender and we'll send it back to you. You know what I mean? So literally it gets... it's a win-win situation, and even if 2 people do it, we can do it again. You know that way. Yeah. So if anybody wants to do that, you can. So there you can see, there's our moss frame. Now Sinead is going to post, because I kept chatting all the way through that, because as I said, I had to apologise to me mother. She gave out murder to me. She did. Even my dad came over and he said, "Your ma's raging with you, telling them all to rob in Rialto. Like, don't rob in Rialto. Go up to Ballyfermot or any other area." So anyway, back to the ceanothus. So this is the bush all cut up, okay? And I think I've 30-something pieces here because we got carried away here this morning, but I'll probably do something else later on off camera, using up whatever I don't use. So you see Deirdre's husband in the Instagram video cutting up all the ceanothus, and all the big branches were put in water. And all I did this morning then was literally just make it into little bunches, put 1 or 2 pieces together, and just got a little bit of either your florist wire or your real wire, and just basically wrap it around the ends there and cut off whatever's left over. Now, if they were in single pieces, it was grand, but mostly I kind of cut in like a small piece and a big piece, and it kind of made them all kind of chunky-ish. Now, as you can see, they're a bit like myself. They're all shapes and sizes. We have fat ones, skinny ones, wide ones, tall ones, bushy ones, and anorexic ones. They're all different shapes. So there's all my bunches of ceanothus like made up.
Just Marjorie's on some of the comments. Marjorie's on. She says she rang Mylands Garden Centre, but they actually don't post to the UK.
Only Ireland. Oh, that's a pity. Maybe if there's any UK garden centres watching, you know, that way, again, feel free. As you can see there, we have people watching from all over the world, you know, that way. So even if you are a garden centre in Madeira or Michigan or any of the other places that's been mentioned so far, sure, put the stuff up, put up your advertisement, so you never know, and your batting else will get you a few new followers.
Deborah Bradson said Jeanette got grounded.
I did, yeah. She wouldn't let me out for a week, she wouldn't.
Trisha Kenny says she found a nice hydrangea bush and her son was scarlet, as she said she wanted to maintain it. So she'll have to do it on her own. Now,
but you know, Deirdre lives up in Walkinstown, and when you're driving up, is James's Road, it's called, there's a big long road. Maybe the woman is watching, okay?
Oh, it'd be great.
Well, there's a hydrangea bush, okay?
The full length of her driveway.
The full length of her driveway. there's only a couple of them in flower at the moment. But listen, in another couple of weeks, as Deirdre says, gillions and gillions and gillions. There's going to be fucking millions, okay, of hydrangeas. So I said to Deirdre, I vote Deirdre. I said to Deirdre, you just knock, you know, that way, explain like who we are, you know, that way. Say to her, listen, we'll take, all we're looking for is 22, 25 hydrangea heads. It'd be nothing. She won't even miss them off our bush.
And actually, they need to be a little bit later on though in the season, don't they? Yeah.
But we'll drop it back to her. And she, listen, we'll go up in another few weeks, we'll get a few more, and we'll drop it back to her. Yeah. We'll keep your woman's hall door with a fabulous door wreath on it for the whole summer if she gives us the feckin' heads, you know, that sort of way. So if you're watching and you live on, if you're driving towards the Traders Pub and you're on that side of the road, about halfway up.
Well, besides Life at Number 2's mother lives on that road.
Okay, yeah, right, so maybe Susan from Life at Number 2, you might know your woman.
He's watching because he's going to rob Rialto.
Spec off, yeah. Up to Walkinstown you go. And if your man knows your woman, maybe put in a little word there for us, okay? Your one's bush is ready to be trimmed, Paul. I know you love looking at your bushes. Right, back to our little bunches of ceanothus. To make these fuller, if you want to make it smaller, you can place the material directly onto the ring. Do you see like that? But if you want to make it a little bit fuller, it's a good idea to position it on an angle, sticking outwards, you know, that way, and it just makes it even bigger. So where this started off as being a 12-inch ring, it will turn out that little bit bigger because I'm going to place all the stuff on an angle. So you place your material on an angle, and the idea is that the real wire then wraps around the end of the stalks where I have them wired together. Wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and then you can place another one. And because I've loads of them, I'm going to make this pretty full. So I'll also kind of place one kind of like down low here. You'll see it now what I'm going to do. So there's the second one kind of pointing outwards. And I'll just show you the back of it so you can see how much it's sticking out, okay? And then I'm going to position a third one, also sticking outwards, okay? And I catch that one in. But then just to make it a little bit tidier and bushier, can you see kind of in that area there? I'm going to place one kind of horizontal sideways, kind of like lying flat, and that'll kind of make that even fuller. I'll show you now what I mean. So I'll wrap that around 2 or 3 times. You get the idea?
You might just remind people to maybe hit share.
I hope you are clicking share, okay? So start clicking share there.
We'll find you and we'll trim your bush.
We'll be up there with our scissors and our secretaries trimming your bush. And anybody that's watching, get into the habit of always having a scissors on the door of your car or a secretaries. You know that way. Could be for protection. But it's obviously more really for when you see something that you could keep it trimmed.
Obviously not going to ask. I mean, mother be giving out.
Yeah, oh yeah, my mom be giving out murder now if you all start robbing and you start asking permission. And as I said, stay out fucking Rialto and do not go near that roundabout. We're looking out the window at the roundabout, so we'll see it. We will.
Our cameras are on it.
Our cameras are on it. We'll give you a plastic bag to bring home, by the way. Of course, here was Mum. What's the lady's name?
Helen.
So there's this lady, Helen, and I know she does watch us sometimes, but Helen is in charge of the environment. You know that way. She does fabulous work for the areas. That's why we have these fabulous, amazing window boxes and flower planters, and the roundabout in Rialto is just fabulous. You know that way. Like it's just the amount and the selection of flowers, you know what I mean? And that is all thanks to Helen, you know that way. So Helen, if you're watching, huge thanks. Of course, here was Mom. And Helen's watching you, and you're telling them all to go and rob the stuff off the roundabout. But yeah, man, like lighten up, like we're only messing. We weren't serious about it, you know what I mean? Our followers know when I'm messing, you know that way. And when I call this culchies, I don't mean it in a bad derogatory sort of way. My husband's a culchie, so I'm allowed to say it. So what's happening there, Deirdre?
Love size flowers says June did. Like number 2 says sorry, Ma. Francis says your mother's going to kill you. I think we'll block Mammy.
I think we'll have to block her, we will, yeah. We're actually bringing her out for lunch today. We're heading up to the Hilton in Kilmaine. Sounds very posh, but it's only up the road from us, actually. And they have gorgeous window boxes outside there, planters too. So we'll do a little bit of an Instagram later on when we're up there. But anyway, we're bringing our mum, in case she's watching, just to remind you, ma'am, 1:30. We're heading up there for a cup of tea. And you know, we haven't been out in ages, we haven't. Just to have a cup of tea somewhere else instead of having it in your own kitchen. So again, just to give you an idea how this is working, I'm just working my way around and putting 2 or 3 facing outwards, as you can see there from the back. Do you see how full it's making it? And then I'm kind of putting one horizontal to kind of cover the works, cover the mechanics, and make my bush a little bit bushier. How you go?
Celia wants to know, do you condition them first, and how will it stay fresh?
So what you can do to keep, when it's on your door, is keep it sprayed with water. Now the thing is, it's going to pea rain at the weekend, so you'll be fine. You know that way. Now obviously, if you're in a porter, you have a porter on your whole door, you probably need to maybe take it down. And you know the handiest thing to do is a big basin of water. You know that way, or a big bucket of water. Either feck the bucket of water over it or dunk it. The moss will take in a certain amount of water, because now that moss was dry that I used there. But I normally, when I have say these stories, is I normally put it on the grass. I pour a bucket of water over it, and that just gets the moss just to absorb the right amount of water that I need. That helps to kind of keep it hydrated. What you kind of find with the ceanothus, it just kind of like, it's a great lasting foliage. It's like, again, maybe we'll video this next week just to show you what it looks like. The little purple flower is in kind of shed. You can see here on the table, you know that way. It's like dandruff, okay?
And you know,
blue dandruff.
Last week it would have been even better to use it. It would have been, it's starting to go now.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to cut it. My husband cut it, so he was just grabbing.
He was cutting the more mature, yeah, instead of you would have cut the stuff that wasn't as mature.
Yeah, but I wasn't going near the bush.
I'd be terrified. Even before we came live here this morning,
there was a bus organised to go on the mooch in Rialto. Beep, beep.
The 19 bus. Do you remember the 19 bus? The terminus used to be in Rialto. There, I don't know if anyone remembers. It used to be Brendan Malloy, but now it's the Word Flanagan Pub.
Sinead said, a lovely blue ceanothus wreath to celebrate Scotland's win over England tonight.
Oh, brilliant.
Big match at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. tonight. So obviously Sinead is married to a Scots fella, Gary from Aberdeen, but they live in Inverness. And I know we'd get a lot of Scottish followers here, because we also have a lot of Scottish students. So we have to cheer Scotland down. My dad actually has the Scottish flag up. So Sinead actually, I think, has a photograph of that. She might post it up in the comments. So where my dad lives, and I know I'm always talking about Dad and always talking about Rialto, but he puts up the flag. So he has a flagpole in the garden. So he would have had the Pride flag up there at the beginning of the month. And the Palestinian flag is getting priority. That's up there. But just last week then, he put the Scottish flag up supporting Scotland. So no matter what happens, you know what I mean, if Dublin is playing, if Sligo is playing, anybody, and like any of the neighbours on the road, if they have a flag, you know that way, they say, John, will you put this flag
Actually,
up?
I'll post the photograph, and it came up in my memories of when the Pope came to Ireland in 1900 splash, the way he had the avenue decorated.
Yeah, and we would have had the Pope's flag up and all, you know, that sort of way. So it just be gas crack, like, you know what I mean? Rialto is one of the best places to live, I have to say. I have to say that because
Violetta wants to know, Jeanette, would you soak it if using the straw as a base?
No, because the straw wouldn't hold the water, and it might actually start to kind of smell a little bit. So probably I wouldn't. So like most.
And just to say, when I did cut that last night, Jeanette, I put it into when John cut it, I put it into a massive big ice bucket for our beer.
So you see the way I'm wiggling, by the way, the word there for the last few pieces. Go on, dear. Sorry.
I filled that with water, and I left it in the water overnight, and then just took it out this morning and put it into a black sack to bring it in. So that's how I conditioned it. Was literally just left it in the bucket of water.
What happened to your cans then? Your beer?
I had to let him drink them.
Poor John. Imagine having to drink all the cans last night. He was devastated. He was in an awful state. So there you go. There's your door reach done up with the ceanothus. I had 32 bunches, so I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 left, so 6 away from 32. That's how many it took. So somebody there do the maths. And the last thing you do at the back there is you cut off the wire that's left over, and the little short bit that's left over, you stick it back down into your moss base. Now I have my kitchen towel. This is going onto the floor. The bin isn't under me, but you listen, Dad, come over later on, will you, and clean up the place a little bit for me. Right, so I'm just going to bunch this out of the way there for a second. Now to decorate it up, I have this fabulous navy ribbon. I was going to go for purple, but the navy actually suited it better. So this is just a navy ribbon. There's a little bit of a gold edge. You probably can't see it, but there's like a satin stripe coming down the center of it. So I'm just going to cut a little strip of it. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm not going to do a bow, so I'm just going to fold it in half there. Okay, I'm going to crunch in the ends of it.
24 bunches, barely says.
Brilliant, fair play to you.
One says amazing. How much would it cost for a week like this?
Well, it's cost nothing to make as such, because if you go up to Walkinstown to Deirdre's Bush, there's loads more of it, you know, that sort of way. Just you need to get one of them things to wear over your head though the bees don't attack you. Obviously it's the frame and it's the labor and so on, but this is all about, like we always kind of try with the Friday live classes, is to show you stuff that you can do using kind of items that are maybe foraged, not robbed, foraged, you know, that way, or relocated. So again, you can just see the way I've just kind of pointed. You see the ends of the ribbon there. And what I'm going to do is to one side, okay, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter what side.
Well,
I'm just going to do it to this side.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do it to the opposite side.
Right,
okay, I have something else, you see. So I'm just pressing that wire down through it. There's the ribbon. And where the wire came out the back there, and just bending it up, making a U-bend and sticking it back up into the frame. So I just want 2 little ribbons hanging down, you see, like that there. So you could just use that as it is and just put it straight onto your door. But you know us, we always have something extra, okay? So sorry if I'm off camera for a second. So what I did, I'm going to break my snot on the stuff that's on the floor here, okay?
Yvonne says, anyone taking foliage from parks and woods, be careful of park keepers. You're not supposed to.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to. No. That's why my mammy was giving out to me. You're not supposed to rob foliage, you know, that sort of way. It's illegal. You'd be locked up.
You do see the park keeper, which I have done on a few occasions, and I said, do you mind if I cut a bit off that? And normally they've no problem with it. Yeah. What they don't want is people going in and taking chunks.
Because you know when you're robbing, you're doing it real fast and you're fecking hacking the bush, you know, that sort of way, and you don't really want that.
Marjorie says she uses the word liberate. She liberates the foliage.
So again, use your cop on. When I tell you to go and rob stuff, I genuinely don't. Like, I'm not standing up and Judge Judy, well, I told her to rob. Okay. So this was a smaller frame. This is only a 10-inch frame. So where I showed you the first one,
that way.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
The first frame I showed you was on a 10-inch, okay? So this is where, before I came on live, because I was trying to save time, I mossed up the 10-inch frame, okay? It's the exact same way I showed you, but I just didn't have the greenery sticking out as far on it. So if I show you the back of this one, whereas where you can see I have the greenery sticking out, you see quite a lot more. So I just have made like a mini version. But what I want to do is I want to make a double up, okay? So I kind of want to join the 2 of these together. So that's why I wanted the ribbon hanging down on one side of one of them and the other side of the other. Now, obviously, you can use them as 2 separate door wreaths. But people are really posh in Rialto, and they have big hall doors, don't they?
Oh, very posh.
Well, the doors in Mountjoy are very big as well. So we're going to tie these together for the big hall door, you know, that way. So these is for all the posh people. So I'm going to hook these together, okay? I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to bring the knot obviously to the back in a second, okay? And it looks like I'm keeping them fairly close together, like as in it's short, but they'll be stretching the ribbon, okay? So I'm going to make sure, pull that, there we go, make sure that it's really, really tight.
They're all loving it. Looks like Clara says it's fabulous.
Probably should have done that.
Dara said it's stunning. Coca Pop says it's beautiful.
Right, so I'm just going to trim me knots. There we go. Hope this doesn't come apart. I'm going to move the knot to the back, you know, that way, so it's not hidden. Just adjust this around. So that ribbon's hanging that way, that ribbon's hanging that way. And there we go. And that's our double, okay?
Yeah.
You see there?
Yeah.
So there is our double door wreath. So now what you need is a ribbon at the top of it to hang out your knockers, okay? So your bush is sorted, so now you need to get your knockers sorted out. So again, we just cut another bit of ribbon. We're going to hook it around here again, do a little bit of a knot on it. I actually think if I do the knot the way I always show the students to do it, it's more secure than the way I did it that way there, right?
They're absolutely, they're loving it. We're getting loads. Vicar Street for you guys.
Listen, click share. Don't be just commenting there. Start clicking share. And because that's what we depend on. We depend on you to click
Mary
share.
Grace wants to know, do we sell that ribbon? We don't. That's just...
No, it's just actually a sample roll that I just bought. Well, actually, Deirdre bought it. She's just seeing it. She fancied it.
You know what? When I see rolls of ribbon on Amazon, Wish, any of those, AliExpress, any of those places, I should just pick up the colours just to have that. We have a selection. That's gorgeous.
So there you go.
Lovely,
that'd be fabulous on Mountjoy, wouldn't it?
It would be lovely.
So if you do get locked up, you will be behind a big door. So you'll definitely need a door this size. And so there's your sea notice with your robbed foliage. And you're locked up for it. And as you can see, it's easy to make. Now, if you went into a florist to buy something like that, you are going to pay big money for it. I know when you watch me during the lives and you say, oh God, like that looked really easy. I did all the prep work done. I had to just do the fun part. I had the small wreath done as well. And I had all our bunches all kind of like cut up. But if you take into John robbing the bush last night, Deirdre conditioning it, me cutting it all up, wiring it into the little bunches.
My dad's coming over later on.
Dad coming over cleaning up. Mary down in Manorhampton going and getting the moss. You know that way. Dad making our co-hanger frames if that's what we were going to use. Deirdre going on to Amazon or Wish looking for all our rolls of ribbon. And then me actually putting the whole thing together. Do you know that sort of way? There is a lot of work involved, and that's what you're paying your florist for. Now, I have a few more things to cover with you, right? So again, just our giveaway today was supposed to be for Father's Day, but I'm a bit late advertising it. So it's our super facialist for that. I was going to say something for that main man in your life. Okay, it can be for a female as well. It can be for absolutely anybody that would absolutely love it. Okay, it has cactus water in it. And what I love about the novelty idea, there's a little grow your own cactus. As I said yesterday, grow your own little prick, you know that way. So grow your own little cacti plant. I think the kids would love that. Facial wash, anti-aging kind of cream. Sure, Jesus, we all need a little bit of anti-aging. And we've one of these to give away on Instagram and also on Facebook, okay? All you have to do is go over, because it was Emma from 11PR Events gave us these gifts. So go over to Emma's page, 11PR Events. Sinead is going to put it in the comments there. Pop over and just say, hi, Emma, even tag Case Flower School, so that we know it was one of ours that went over, okay? Because we don't want all the others kind of sliding over trying to win this. And also, if you pop over to Super Facialist page, you know, that way, and do something similar, okay? So Sinead will put the link for the 2 pages. We're actually working tomorrow, so we'll be on with our Bloom Room students at 10 o'clock. So we'll pop on here and we'll announce the winner. We're just going to do it as a random winner, okay? We're not going to do all the scrolling, which we did do for the goodie bag. The winner of the goodie bag from last week's Instagram prize was Sarah Griff Sky, okay? We'll post a video of that, how we picked her, Sinead picked her, and it was picked in Scotland. It was all above board and it's all videoed and so on. And we'll get her address and we'll stick that out in the post to you. But for next week, we will have another goodie bag, okay? And that will be all the Goopy holders and also the fiber floral design media. It's not foam, okay? It's the new kind of product designed by Smithers Oasis for doing flower arranging, but also for next week, because it's Pride Month and next Saturday is Pride Day. I think it's next Saturday. So next Friday, I'm going to do a design, a flower arrangement all around Pride, and I'm going to use the environmentally friendly basis from Smithers Oasis. So that's my plan. The stuff is in the post, and that's all that I get it in time. If I don't get it in time, I'll just use my normal floral foam basis, but it definitely is going to be a Pride arrangement. Lots of students asking us about our Christmas courses. So our Christmas courses are up online now. They're starting the 1st of November, and it's a 3-week online program. So Sinead will put the link in the comments. And also people asking about the dates for the online program next term, September. All the dates are up on our website. So go to the website, flowerschoolireland.com, click on the, would it be the bookings page, Deirdre? How would they find the dates? The bookings page. Calendar. Jesus, she didn't even speak for itself. Look for the calendar button. Maybe Sinead might make it easy for us and put the link for the calendar button in the links
below.
She
has it up already.
Do you know what? She's a great little sister. She escaped the robin. She's none of the bad influence of me and Deirdre. She's over there in Scotland 20 odd years, and I tell you, my ma's so proud of her. My ma doesn't give out to her. She's absolutely brilliant. She's the goody young one. Yeah. She is. We're the bold ones, we are. But anyway, we're bringing my mum and dad out for lunch. I have one today, heading up to the Hilton in Kilmainham, and listen, we'll video any flower boxes that we see, because you're one Helen from this area. I wouldn't say she's over the Kilmainham ones. No. So be grand. Okay, I think that's all we have to tell you. So if you want to tell them, Deirdre.
No, I think so.
Loads. So if you missed all about the hydration unit,
your mother is going to have their ears red raw after this long.
So if you missed the hydration unit, we covered all that at the very beginning. The giveaway for the Super Facialist and Emma 11PR events, all at the very beginning. What else? The goodie bag, the winner for the goodie bag, mossing the frame from scratch, robbing the ceanothus bush, and making our fabulous door wreath for posh houses, or if you're locked up in Mountjoy prison, the door will be big enough to support that. So huge thanks everybody for joining. Again, one more last. Share. Will you please beck and share, okay? Get the page out there for us. We really appreciate it. Share it as much as you can. And on Instagram, when it does go up live, if you can, come back maybe and share it to your page. Really appreciate it. And YouTube, sure, all they can do is give us a thumbs up, is it?
Share it to their, they can still share that to their
absolutely. Go on the YouTubers, go the YouTubers, go and do something. And see us all here. I'll be here tomorrow morning for something short and sweet. But otherwise, see you next Friday, same time, same place, 11 o'clock here for our Pride demonstration. So go on the Pride ones. Good luck, goodbye.
Paul says up the gays.
Up the gays, up the LGBTs and the whole lot of them and all the rest. Brilliant, everybody. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. See you all. Bye-bye.